Unani? Vijani. Phila Mbatha. I am a poet, and without any further ado, I'm going to do my first piece. Please, don't undress. I've made this mistake too many times before. I don't want to base my relationships on sex anymore. I just want to hold you. And I want you to hold me too. I want us to carve this moment with our emotions and make it count for something more than just another sexual encounter. Trust me, I do want us to get intimate. I do want us to get intimate, but how about we get intimate without me having to plunge into it, if you know what I mean? I want this to mean something. Because sometimes, I think sex is just another excuse for us not to express or feel real emotions. In fact, intercourse is just another excuse for us not to express or feel real emotions. I mean, what happened to being a gentleman? What happened to respecting? What happened to being a lady? What happened to waiting? What happened to sensitivity? Why can't we allow this to just happen organically? But wait, don't get me wrong, I am not a saint. Trust me, I am not a saint. My canvas is filled with lust. My spirit has no place to paint anything profound or worthy of being pursued passionately. It's unbelievable how the mind can govern the body so godlessly. It's a blasphemy. This is a catastrophe. How men are slowly cultivating the culture of drowning their sorrows and insecurities between the thighs of a woman who has forgotten her worth. You'd swear that she's been cursed since birth. What on earth were they thinking when they ate that apple? What on earth were they thinking when they ate that apple? With that question in mind, I've come to the conclusion that none of us are perfect. No one is immune to sin. But if we don't stand up and fight, how can we hope to win? How can I change the fact that my strength and confidence as a man stems from my ability to dominate you sexually? To have you chasing your next breath desperately, holding on to me like salvation in the last days of Revelation. Not even Adam and Eve could fight this temptation. Please, don't undress. I've made this mistake too many times before. I don't want to base my relationships on sex anymore. I just want to hold you. And I want you to hold me too. I want us to carve this moment with our emotions and make it count for something more than just another sexual encounter. But unfortunately, I am a black man. Television has shaped my identity. Women no longer respect me for being sensitive and humble. The more recklessly I treat you, the more you want me. The more recklessly I treat you, the more you want me to tell you that you are my one and only. But that would only be true if you were really my one and only. Because only having more than one woman makes a man these days. Because we have to have something on the side these days. And there's that girl that's willing to be nothing but just that something on the side these days. I guess it's just that easy to give away your self-respect and pride these days. I know it's not easy to find a man who's going to value your value, but that doesn't mean you should compromise your value. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You don't need a man to validate your beauty. As a matter of fact, man's image of beauty has been heavily distorted. He was created to love and protect, but like a fetus, that mission has been aborted. He has consciously rejected his responsibility as a lover, as a brother, and as a father, because he would rather worship his ego and think with his dick. He breaks hearts for a living. He has more than one chick to carry his hate, to carry his confusion, to carry his denial. He wakes up in a different world. He wakes up in a different bed every morning, sedated by this illusion that he has created for himself. He barely knows the girl he's lying next to because he's too busy thinking about the girl he's going to tell his next lie to. And as I try to reverse and remedy the situation, I plead with you, please, don't undress. We've made this mistake too many times before. Let's not base our relationships on sex anymore. Thank you. First piece, I'm going to move on to the last one there, guys. Do you remember? Okay, I'll wait until... Do you remember the song that played in the background the morning I sneaked up behind you to playfully plant a soft kiss on your spine? I wrapped my arms around you and placed my hands firmly on the plateau of your waist, slowly moving up. I remember your breasts filling my hands like warm butter smoothly fills a cup. Your hair was laced with the fragrance of springtime in the early morning. I remember feeling the breeze. It was crisp and impulsive, yet subtle enough to carry your laughter into my ears. Your eyes mirrored the sunrise, your collarbone, the horizon. That morning it felt as though God was using us as a canvas to paint the mood He was in. He was in us like a nucleus in an atom. It would take a constellation of lifetimes to fathom what inspired Him to carry His paintbrush with such majestic agenda. I could feel your heart beating on the tips of my fingers. The tips of my fingers lightly teasing the tips of your nipples, pleasure ripples on the surface of your skin, my head slowly leaning in so that my mouth could open and warmly cuddle the side of your neck with my tongue, erotically dancing on your skin to eventually glide down your right shoulder. My blood bubbled like an active volcano ready to abruptly erupt below my waist. Do you remember? Do you remember the song that played in the background the morning I sneaked up behind you to playfully plant a soft kiss on your spine? I placed my hands firmly on the plateau of your waist, slowly moving down into the inside of your left thigh. My fingers sliding in against the moist walls of your vulva, I pulled them out. You taste like the past and the future, delicately wrapping that present moment in an invisible yet equally palpable layer of tranquility. Your knees buckled under the pressure of my hard presence, suggestively protruding to my silk boxes. I remember rubbing it back and forth against your peak, against that moist point where your legs meet to cut open. I made myself known that morning. Your breath carried a faint, immutable tone that morning. Our room was intensely perfumed with the scent of your center that morning. That morning, your naked body lying before me was empty. It was empty because your spirit left it the moment I entered. Mine soon followed immediately after your eyes rolled back into their sockets. I left off like a rocket, bursting into flames, shooting into space to chase you across the galaxy of stars, moons, suns, and cosmic oceans. Eventually, we would collide to inevitably meet God in each other. He welcomed us. He welcomed us with an orchestra of symphonically arranged orgasms that spilled my entire existence into an ocean of waves that rushed onto your shoreline to immerse you entirely in a flood that was nothing short of biblical. For a moment, there was no you. There was no me. We simply disappeared into each other and became one with the whole. There's a quiet storm, and you never felt like this before. There's a quiet storm that is you. There's a quiet storm, and you never felt like this before. You're giving me something that's taboo. You give me that feeling taboo. That's why I'm so in love with you. Do you remember the song that played in the background the morning I sneaked up behind you to playfully plant a soft kiss on your spine? Thank you. I know.
Get your spine.